hello. If you do not know me, I'm Natalia Richardson. I am the founder of the High Frequency CEO, a pleasure-led business mentor, a feminine liberator, and an activator for women who are changing their legacies, scaling pleasure-led business, and really here to change the world. So today I'm bringing on the incredible Alissa Kuka. She has transformed her entire life. And she just decided to join us for all of 2026. I cannot wait for the magic we're here to create. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure.
Yeah.
First off, thank you for having me, Natalia. My name is Alissa Kuka. I call myself a rebel nurse leader. I am an administrative long-term care nurse specializing in geriatrics. I've been doing it for like 20 years, and in the last year have launched what I call an energetic leadership consultant business where I teach leaders of long-term care who face the same challenges I've faced forever, how to do it from a place of embodied empowerment, from alignment, without getting burnt out, and really changing the way that they approach it from an inner alignment place so that the outer alignment falls into place as well.
Ah, so good.
Yes.
So, Alyssa, I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. Obviously, I mean, we've worked together since it was 2023. We
Hmm.
worked together. There was kind of a break there, and then you joined again this year. And obviously, we're going into next year like the highest capacity that we can.
Full send.
For your listeners too, because I believe your testimonial speaks to the way that you lead. Like, if you are looking for a consultant, a coach, someone in nurse leadership, she is an example of living brave and doing the thing as a feminine leader. So, would you like to share your story about, I guess, when you first joined with me, when you decided to reinvest this year, and like what's transformed in your life? And if you have also anything that you would like to share as far as working with me, as my listeners are listening as well, please share.
Cool. Oh gosh. Well, let's see. 2023, end of 2023, I'd had my first and only daughter at the beginning of 2023, and in going and becoming a new mother, there's so much that goes into that. But all my life I had really poured, oh gosh, I would say my identity into being an administrative nurse leader. And I'd been in that type of a work for a long time, 10 years. And so after I had my daughter, my perspective shifted and I started to recognize that I was sacrificing on all levels in order to try to make ends meet. And there was so much of me that just never felt like I was good enough, like ever. It was like I'm not giving enough here at work, so that's failing. So then if I give more at work, then I can't give as much to my daughter. And then as a wife, I can't give as much to my spouse. And so I felt like literally in all elements, especially myself. And I remember I had followed you for a couple years and watched your own embodied growth. And like literally, that's one of the things I love the most about you is you're not speaking from some pedestal. You've walked every single step of this journey on your own way. And so I can't remember which offer. I think it was a mentorship, and you had put an offer out there, and I reached out and I was like, I'm really interested in this. I feel lost. I feel like I've let myself go as far as my connection to my sense of self and my self-worth was in the tank. And it was just like so many aspects of it. And so I remember like the first probably 4 or 5 times we met and had sessions, we literally just spent time like grounding into the body and just really like I ev I've been in therapy, I've done all the things, and everybody just wants to like attack things from I don't know, it's hard to explain. The way you just helped me feel safe first, I remember that was just like something I didn't have at all in my life. Not that I wouldn't, I just wouldn't let people. So, but I was in a container with you, and it was like safety. And so after we got grounded, we just started to really dive into the root of the things that I wanted to do. And I'd been talking about consulting forever, forever, ever. And once we started moving into that energetic space together and breaking down some of those blockages and, really, when I started working with you, I had no idea what I wanted. And we started to build clarity on that.
Yes.
And so in doing that, I called in like a $25,000 raise on a job that led to a relocation. And so like we took the leap and I moved down to Western South Dakota and love it down here. I'm still down here, just a little differently. And I remember that was just like such a monumentous, like energetic growth and expansion. And like I moved into this like whole different level of sense of self. Um, and then we kind of, like we said, we took a little break, and all of a sudden I fell back into some of those old habits, and also was working within a facility at the time that inhabited every single terrible quality I was trying to get away from. And it's really funny how the universe just like, it's that final, it's like that boss level in a video game, like the final test, right? And so I know I took a couple of your containers, like the Wild Woman and stuff. So I was always in touch with you, and
Yes.
I've always just maintained such enormous, like, I just admire everything you do and how you literally embody everything that you coach us women into. So I know we were kind of talking about me jumping back into a mentorship with you, and the conversation was open. And then basically at my year anniversary of my job in that horribly toxic workplace, I got fired.
Which was
So
the
for
biggest blessing.
no, I was so embarrassed. I'm talking like I've built my life around being good enough, right? Like that was my whole thing. And then I got fired. But in that moment, the the truest part of me, the wisest part of me was like, you know what? This is the time to have Natalia in your corner. This is the time to make it happen. So I spent money I did not have, but I did, and I took a leap of faith, and I took a leap of faith on like, in myself. After I had been literally gutted in this by this job, I was like, you know what? No, that is not my truth. I know this is not what's meant for me. And in that same week, I launched a consulting business.
Yes.
And within 6 months of working with you and being in this consulting business, I landed a $10,000 a month contract. And then life shifts as it always does. And that contract turned into a year plus at this building and a relocation to an even prettier part of Western South Dakota. And just further and further depth. Now my business is thriving. I'm thriving. I will be debt free as of about a month from now.
Oh, yes.
So I went from being like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet. I have no job. What am I going to do? To, hey, I'm debt free and I'm living my most beautiful life. Like all in all, teaching my daughter what it looks like to be a strong, sovereign woman and leading this building from a place of alignment and not burnout, which I enjoy much more.
Pleasure. Ah, you are
Yeah.
incredible. And every time it lights me up because I mean, like you just joined the Legacy for All of 2026. And so I cannot wait to literally see what we do next. I'm so excited. And this is a testimony to co-creation. And this is something Alyssa and I both really believe in is like I could give you all the tools, all the activation, show you the pathway. But if you also don't meet me here and you also aren't open and you aren't willing to be brave and lean into the unknown, like nothing happens. It's when you come together in a container where you're seen and heard and really feel that alignment, which is why when you work with me, I always ask for an application because I can't serve you at my highest if it's not aligned, and it doesn't serve you either. And Alyssa happens to be incredibly aligned in both of those areas. So,
Yeah.
uh, is there anything specifically that you would like to share about maybe the thoughts you had when you were investing, in yourself, right? Because that's the journey we take ourselves through. We're the only one who can take the initiation. So anything for any woman listening who is ready for her next level in life or business, but is feeling the resistance like we all do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know how many evenings I just sat in my little Zen zone, just like breathing into it because there's something so not ingrained in someone, especially like I'm a chronic independent people pleaser or strong, powerful, independent woman. There was something so like against what I was raised to invest in myself. Like it's okay to go to the doctor. It's okay to spend all this money on cosmetic surgery if that's whatever you're into, but like to, go into a coaching container felt against like what I was taught. And I literally recognize that as just being just a belief pattern that existed in my head, but it wasn't the truth. I knew what my soul was called to. I knew from the moment, how many days did our agreement sit in my inbox? Like 3 days. So I was like, I have to sign this when
When
I'm energetically ready, and I know
yes.
when that is. And then when you do it, literally instantly everything shifted. Instantly
Yes.
opportunity
Yes.
rolls in. It's the energetic signing of that alone that launches you in that direction. And then you invest in not physical, like you go into the container and you do the thing and you get really vulnerable and you act weird and you go through all these things and you grow and it's beautiful. And it really is a safe space. And that's I come from a place where I was a very independent child and I had a lot of things that I had to deal with at a young age. To have a place for a woman like me to be 100% herself,
Hmm.
that's worth everything. Everything.
Hmm.
And you do create that.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
that. And the energetic signature, like what you were speaking to, I tell people all the time, like, this is like a soul contract. This is an energetic contract. Once you sign it, things will shift. Like they're going to change. It's just like when you release the okay or the good enough, which is the hardest place to release from because it's safe, it's good enough. The instant you do that, the universe is like, or God or goddess or whatever you're aligned to, it's like, okay, you actually believed enough to let go because you know what was meant for you and it just lands. And that is the most magical thing, which has kept propelling me to make those brave moves, right? And I know you too, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like, what that agreement does, right? And oh, so much goodness there, so much goodness. For anyone, and obviously you do consulting and mentorship as well.
Yeah.
Um, for anyone who is listening right now who's already known that the investment is rising to join the high frequency CO with both of us here in 2 days, right? In 48 hours, the investment is rising. For anyone who's on the fence or they're at a good level in business, but they're ready for extraordinary, right? They're at an okay level in relationship, but they're ready for extraordinary. What feedback or testimonial, I guess, would you say about me as a mentor or to speak into them?
Yeah. It's not even just about business, really. Your mentorship containers are an energetically multifaceted container. So we get, I mean, activations on everything from overwhelm to money to, becoming aligned so that the divine masculine can rise, in partnerships. And there's so much more that is within it than just business. So, that was one of the things for me when I first debated getting into mentorship with you. I was like, I'm not really an entrepreneur. I'm just a nurse leader, but it fits. Your container is not just a cookie cutter thing for somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur. It's about the expansion of self in whatever direction that looks like.
Yeah.
And so it offers, how do I say this? It offers energy that expands. I don't know. Personally, for me, I listen to an activation. It'll be 10 minutes of you just talking as you're driving in the car, and I'm buzzing. And it creates that positive
Frequency.
vortex, right? And
Yes.
it's just that. It doesn't even matter if what I'm thinking about is work related. It's like, okay, then I go through the coffee shop, and all of a sudden the lady's like, oh my gosh, your hair is beautiful. It's like, it creates that positive momentum all the time. Yeah, it's a feel good. But it's also it's very serious reminders of when it isn't easy. Like we've been in energetic spaces together sometimes where people are struggling and going through things, and it's the holding of space for that too, and understanding like life isn't always just perfection, but we're gonna be here, we're gonna be present for it, no matter what it looks like, good, bad, otherwise, you know? Yeah.
Mhm. Yes. And what you spoke to about leadership, I've had many women reach out and they're like, well, I'm a leader in this company. I'm like, leadership is embodiment, right? Being the embodied leader and shifting that, like, you're waiting for the raise. Well, what are you waiting on? Who are you being? What don't you believe, right? Like all of those shifts. And the truth is, love and money is a huge one for women, and also is separation. And in this container, that's what is dissolved is when we come together, you see the frequency rise. You see the illogical things happen with money or with love or
Yeah.
your full being. And Like I can tell you my highest month, like my highest sales month last month of 6 figures was the most easeful month I've ever had in the midst of so many things happening. It wouldn't have been logical, but it is that frequency that we call in. And I mean, yeah, there's strategy. Yeah, there's all those things, right? There's the tangible pieces, but truly what Alyssa said about being seen in all of it. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm not here to just live my life for work. I am creating a business so I can support at the highest capacity and actually live and be present in my life instead of working my ass off till retirement, instead of hustling for my worth, right? It is how can I serve and transform and also actually embody what it means to actually be free in every
Yeah.
capacity.
I think one of the things you've taught me the most is how to receive, to be honest. The gift of being able to receive and let those beautiful things come and like you said, shed the hustle. And that's one of the things that is the most embodied in my mentorship with other nurse leaders is we can create an energy within ourselves, which means we don't have to be the firefighters all the time. We don't have to run from fire to fire to fire and put them out and really hope that we're attracting the right energy. No, we get to be the right energy and then it lands and it just starts to come in, you know? I've been in this particular building for 2.5, 2 months now, 2 months. And we went from 9 CNAs to over 15, 2 to 3 staff nurses to 5 or 6. We got applications rolling in. Like momentum happened by me walking in the door. And that's the embodiment that you help create, you know, and help coach us into. And it's the best.
I love, that gives me all the feels and frequency is it, right? In so many other cultures, they know it's the energetics. They know it's the frequency in which you live that shifts everything and heals and transforms. It's not actually like the doing first, it's who you're being and then acting from that being and then you receive it. And so many people are always like, well, when this client lands, I'll invest, or when this thing happens, whatever, or when he proposes, then it's going to be better, right? It's always something external as
Yep.
opposed to, wait a minute, it's actually me. Am I leading my life like I believe this? Am I being in the frequency of what I desire to create? And that's pure source energy. It's how we were born, right? We were
Hmm.
born in this way. And as a woman, for every woman listening, you were born to receive. You were born to create from pleasure. And
Yeah.
and that is my favorite part of what I do is that feminine liberation where it's like, oh, like too much is not a thing. You've never been too much. It's being all of you and attracting like the man that can hold all of you, attracting the money who's like, oh yeah, she's just serving and beautiful and ready to receive. It's not gripping to control and
Yeah.
it's not pushing away. Like someone asks to buy you coffee and you're like, no, I got it. Right there, that's the sign that you actually struggle to receive. Something as simple as that, right? And that's something I used to do. And so I'm just leaving you with that nugget because that unlocked a bunch for me, realizing like when we're desiring things and money, it can be as simple as turning away an invitation for someone to provide for you. And we're like, no, I've got to do it, right? And I can remember even going on a first date once and I wanted him to pay. But as soon as the lunch came, and I knew it was going to be one date, like halfway into the lunch, right? I just pulled out my credit card and paid. And it was something in me with like my wounded masculine that was like, I'm just gonna like, it was meaning to protect myself. And I
Hmm.
look back and like, I have never wanted to go on a date with a man who expected me to pay, right? Like, I want someone who desires to lead, but I
Yeah.
was in turn doing the exact opposite of what I desired, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The gift of being able to lean into the receiving is so, and once as a woman, once you land in that, the idea of scarcity starts to kind of shift away because you feel, well, you're always reminded you're divinely supported. It just keeps showing you. It does. And it's
Mhm.
beautiful. Mm. It's juicy.
It's so juicy. And once you're deep in intuition, right? That's a big piece of this is many women, whether even if you're super successful in business, are disconnected from your actual intuition, your pleasure. So behind the scenes, you're anxious, you're hustling, you're in control. You're not actually listening to what you want to do or create. You're listening to like what it should be. And
Hmm.
that's like the biggest liberator of all because your divine intuition shows you the path if you actually lean into it. And it doesn't mean it's easy. A lot of times it's like the hardest things, but it transforms you. And I was having this talk with like my angels and guides the other day, and I was like, I did the hard thing. Like, I was almost laughing. I'm like, I did it. Where's my reward? Like joke, like having this conversation, and all I heard was it's coming. And I just laughed because like I know that. I know when I release the thing, even if it's really hard, like what's for me comes, but it doesn't come
Mhm.
until we actually embody that. And Alissa is an extremely embodied leader. I am an embodied leader, and I will speak to the fact that I've received so many messages to this that there are a lot of people on the online space that speak one thing, but they don't lead the same way behind the scenes. And this is nothing to speak negatively against them, but that's a core principle and foundation for me is embodying like what I teach and who I'm being. And I know that that's why I attract the most incredible women just like Alissa and things into my life is by choosing I don't abandon myself. I'm not going to teach it if I'm not willing to follow it. And leading by example and everything I teach, I've walked through. It's not been a course. It wasn't a college degree that taught me business. It was, I've scaled my business here, or I'm working with mentors who scale their business to multi millions. I have walked through the divorce. I've walked through the shame. I've walked through all of these pieces of myself that I had like set to the side and come back into like this deeper wholeness. And it always continues, right? And so, Alyssa's story goes like it's so much deeper than we could ever like
Yeah,
encompass.
just scratch the surface a little.
Um, but we will be celebrating in Tulum and in-person masterminds and all these things all next year if you join the legacy. And that's the last piece I want to leave with is the in-person. Once you've walked with women like in this depth and in business in this way, to come together in person, like that is a transformation activation you cannot get anywhere else. And oh my goodness. And so that's why in that container it's included in it because it's so important to actually come together as a collective and to just rise as the divine feminine who creates riches and wealth and love from our feminine fire.
I
So
literally can't wait to hug you.
I know, oh my goodness. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Alyssa and I have never got to hug each other in person yet, and we're
That's
going to
crazy.
multiple times in the next year. So
Yes.
well, in closing, Alyssa, how can people find you and like in what ways can you serve them? Do you have any offerings right now? Do you have any specific things that you want to put out there?
Well, my current and only offering is just one-on-one container with mentor, leadership mentors if you're interested in it. But my specialty is obviously skilled care. I have a lot of regulatory experience, so I offer that on a very, niche basis. But it's a one-on-one space, and it's going to be weekly touch containers as well as you get to be part of a high-level group of us that are talking over regulations, strategies, systems. So it's not just leadership from a regulatory standpoint, but it's also very energetic as well. And that's like only one right now. I am deep in the throes of this building right now. I don't want to overcommit either way. But if you are interested in working with me or if you want to be a part of my free Facebook group, it is under Ember and Iron Nursing Leadership Solutions, or you can just Google my name and it'll come up and there's a link to it right on my page.
Yes. All right. Well, you heard it here. And final reminder, the investment for the high frequency CO increases in 2 days. So we're going to continue soaring. And I hope that you join with us if you're on the fence.
You know you want to.
You know you.
You know you want.
Ah, thank you, love. Thank you so much for joining today. I will see you so
Thank you.
soon.
Sounds good. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.